Good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank you so much for joining me for the podcast of the True Power from Within. I do pray each and every day that this podcast touches you in the most amazing and encouraging way. So today I have named this podcast The Sustainable Source. So I'm coming out of the book of John, chapter 15, verse 5. It says, I am the vine and you are the branches. If a person continues in me, I continue in that person. Then that person will make much fruit. But without me, that person can do nothing. If a person does not continue in me, then he is like a branch that is thrown away. That branch dies. People pick up dead branches and throw them into the fire and burn them. Pretty powerful, if you ask me. Because, I think a lot of times we don't rely on our sustainable source, which is God. We rely on earthly things. We rely on jobs. We rely on our bank accounts. We rely on other people. We rely on our families and our friends, and we rely on so many things, but we don't rely on the sustainable source. Our value and our worth does not come from what other people say about us. Our purpose does not come from what other people say we can have or we cannot have or we can do or not do. Our future does not come from what others dictate about us, because we have a sustainable source that provides everything we need. We have a sustainable source in our life that can do the impossible. We have a sustainable source in our life that can change your life in seconds and in minutes. But sometimes we complain more than we pray. We complain about how life is so hard or how life is unfair. And sometimes we cannot seem to be grateful about the things that we have in this very season and in this moment. See, in my life, I've realized that it's not about who follows me. It's not about who supports me. It's not about who likes me or who doesn't like me, or who talks about me or who doesn't talk about me, or who encourages me or who, or who gossips about me. My life does not depend on that. My future is not going to depend on that. What my future is going to depend on is how connected I am to the vine and to the sustainable source. We go through seasons, and I've talked about this a lot. I mean, because I think that it is so relevant in life, is I always refer to plants, right? Just like Jesus is referring to the vine. He's referring here, right, that he says that dead branches will fall off. There's going to be seasons in your life where God has to remove stuff, right? He has to prune you because when you prune something, it produces much abundance, right? It produces tenfold from before, right? When you prune something, not only does it produce more, but it also grows more. And so, we oftentimes don't look for the sustainable source. We go to the source that's going to fail us. We go to the source that if we don't go to the sustainable source, the source that we rely on is no good either. And, I learned this a lot in my life, that the world and people are going to condemn you in these moments where you're vulnerable. Right? Because I'm going to tell you something. Satan is busy. Satan has his people. He has his devices. He has his distractions. And the first thing he wants you to do in the morning is get up and say, oh my gosh, another day. Oh my gosh, another dollar. Oh my gosh, I can't stand my job. Oh my gosh, my kids are crazy. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. He wants you to get up and be distracted. Right? He wants you to get up and not rely on the sustainable source. He wants you to rely on his source and his distractions. Because I'm going to tell you something. When he's fighting you the hardest, that's because you have purpose. That's because you're on the verge of a breakthrough, right? When God has you in a season where you feel like he is silent, right? You feel like nothing's moving. You feel like, I'm growing some, but I'm just seeing more things go away than I see coming. And that's because in a season that God has you in, he has to prune those things away from you. I've been in a pruning season, right? I've been in a season where I, believed in people and I tried to push people and I tried to carry people, and those people will just walk away because they don't have the vision that I have. They don't have the purpose that I have, right? The purpose that it was given to me, the vision that's given to me is only in me, right? I'm the qualified one for that vision. I'm the qualified one for that purpose. And that's what we have to learn to realize, right? We have to learn to realize that you were not put here by accident. You were put here on purpose. You were put here to serve a purpose. You were put here because you have a God vision inside of you. But we have a choice. We can get up every day and we can fight for that God vision, or we can get up every day and allow Satan to distract us and get us off course. I don't know why my lighting looks so weird this morning, but I'm sorry. I have a bigger light ring, but it's a monster, so I don't bring it down here. But it just looks really awkward this morning, but please forgive me. But it's important that you get up every day, and as soon as your feet hit the floor, you're giving gratitude, because it's one thing for you to wake up in the morning, but it's another thing when you wake up with God. It's another thing when you get up in the morning and you say, Lord, I don't know what today is going to bring, but I'm going to be grateful in whatever today has for me, because I know that you have put me here on purpose. I know that there is a God vision for my life. I know that you're working some things out right now, and I may not see you, I may not hear you, I may not feel the moving in my life, but I know that I'm in a season right now that I know that there's a breakthrough coming. I know that it looks like a dark place right now, but I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I know that you are my sustainable source. If I stay in you, if I stay prayed up, if I stay meditated, if I stay with the whole armor of God on, I know that you're doing something big in this season. See, a lot of times we want to have all those followers. We want to have a blue check mark by a name. We want to have, we want to put all these things all over social media. We want everybody to know how much money we're making, because we want to outbeat the next person, right? We want to put all of these fancy pictures online and show everybody what we have. But if you're not relying on the sustainable source, those pictures mean nothing. Because that can be there one day and gone the next. But we get in the season where we're watching everybody, right? We're watching everybody on social media. We're watching everybody and how they have so much stuff and they're doing so many things, and then we're like, why don't I have those things? And we get into the comparison mode. God says you can't compare yourself to other people, because your walk is different than their walk. Your vision is different than their vision. Your purpose is different than their purpose. What you have to do is you have to live in that true, authentic self of yours, the one that God created, into the miracles that he has done in your life. You cannot compare yourself to other people, because your walk is not other people's walk. I can't compare myself to someone who's never been in an addiction, who has never been to prison, who has, went to college and got, a PhD. I can't compare to them, because my walk is not their walk. He didn't produce the miracles in their life that he produced in my life. I can only focus on what he is doing in my life. I have to rely on the sustainable source, because I have to set an example. I have to set a standard for my family. I have to be that Proverbs 31 woman every single day as much as I possibly can. Because I need my kids to know that in generations to come, that there is a legacy to leave behind. And the only way that I can leave that legacy and to fulfill that purpose and to have that God vision is if I stay connected to the vine every single day. What are you showing your kids? What are you showing your family? What type of example are you setting for those people that are coming behind you, or those people that are on social media? What kind of example are you setting? Do your posts look like complaining and fighting or gossip, or these crazy videos? Or does your Facebook look like you're encouraging and empowering others? Does it look like growth? Does it look like you rely on the sustainable source? See, the problem is that we put so many things all over social media, right? We portray so many things. You can be anybody you want on social media. That's what they used to say in prison, right? You can come to prison, and even though you're in prison, you can be anybody that you want to be, right? Because nobody knew you outside of that. So you can tell them whatever story you want to tell them, and they're going to go with it, right? Because that's what they believe, because they don't know. It is the same thing with social media. We can portray so many things, but what does it really look like? Are you getting up every day and reading affirmations and believing them for yourself, or are you just posting them on Facebook? Do you get up every day and say, I'm going to post this on social media today, because I know it's going to start drama, right? I want to just see what the reactions are. No, you have to learn to live in your true, authentic self. You have to be genuine. We can't talk about other people because we are by far perfect. But what we can do is we can grow every day through our sustainable source. We can get up every day and pray for our families, pray for those who are sick, pray for those that we see on social media asking for prayers. Are you genuinely growing and staying connected to the source? Or do you just put that on social media? Do you read affirmations every single day and speak them over yourself and your children and your family? Or you just post them so that you can get some likes? I encourage you today to get back connected to the sustainable source. Get back connected to the one that has worked miracles in your life. Get back connected to the one that can change your life within minutes. We get off course, and that's okay, because none of us are perfect. We fall to the wayside sometimes. We have a season in our life where maybe our faith gets a little weary. Maybe we feel like that too many bad things are happening to us. Maybe we feel like we've gotten off course or we're lost, and we kind of fall away from that. But Jesus is saying, connect with me, right? I am the vine and you are the branches. There's going to be some seasons where I'm going to prune some things from your life, but know that when those things are going away, I am a mathematician, right? Because we know that the God we serve, when he does subtraction, that means that there's multiplication coming, right? I know that when God starts subtracting something, I know that there's abundance coming. I know there's multiplication coming, right? I know that God has me in a season that even though you see me do a podcast and you see me post on social media, you guys don't know the season that I'm in, right? You don't see what I do every day. You don't see, or you don't hear the prayers that I pray every day. But I know where my source is. I know who my source is. And I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt that he's moving. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that he's moving in your life too. But you just have to be open and vulnerable to accept the things that he is trying to do in your life. Because I'm going to tell you something. God doesn't make it easy, but he makes it worth it. Walking with God is not easy, because you got to have a lot of faith. You got to have a lot of fight. You got to have a lot of endurance. Because we don't serve a God that's a right now God. We live in a world that is so impatient. I don't know where, I'm going to tell you, I'm not the most patient person either. But I'm going to tell you that God has said to work on me in that. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not impatient. I used to be, I want this right now. Instant gratification. I want it now. I want it on my time frame. And God has had to show me, I'm going to give you something right? I'm going to bless you with something, but I need you to trust me first. Because if I give you that blessing and I haven't prepared you for that, if I've put you in a season that I need you to grow, I need you to trust me more. I need to prune some things out of your life. And I need to show you in this season that although it's hard, I'm still working some things out. But I have to prepare you for that blessing, because I cannot give you $100,000 with a $400 mindset. Because if I give you the $100,000, you're going to ruin the blessing. So I need to show you some things in this season, but I need you to trust me. I need you to not get weary. I need you to keep your eyes open, your options open, because even though you may have been somewhere for a long time and I've disconnected you from that, that does not mean that I have put you in a spot. I've put you in a place, right? You've been asking me for a miracle. You've been asking for so many miracles, and I put you in a place where I can work one in your life. And now you think that the darkness has come and you've given up. He is saying to you today, stay connected to me, because I have beauty within those ashes, right? I know that it looks like there's weeds all around you, but bloom right here where you are planted, because as long as you stay connected to me, I will feed you. I will prosper you. I will protect you, and I will provide for you. But I need you to trust in me. I need you to rely and know that I am the sustainable source, that there is nobody else in this world, your social media, your friend circle, none of those people can sustain you like I can. Because those people may only be here for a season. Those people may only be supporting you for their personal reasons. Those people may only be connected to you because of what you have or where you're going, but they're not really for you. They're just for you because of what you have or where you're going. TD Jakes has an amazing message that talks about that talks about your friend circle. He has an amazing, amazing message about that. And he tells you that there's five different people in your life. There's 5 groups of people in your life. It's an amazing. But it's very true. It's very true. But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter who's here, who's not, who's coming, who's going, because God is a God that he will do all that he says he will do. But we get weary because it doesn't come in our timetable. We get weary because we see so many hard things going on. Life is hard. Life is hard. But when you make the decision and you say, Lord, I'm going to surrender this to you, because I want to create a life for my family. I want to create a legacy for my family. I want to be that Proverbs 31 woman. Or I want to be that Boaz. I want to be. We all want to be something. But God says you have to trust in me, because I am your source. I am the sustainable source. I healed you from addiction. I got you out of prison. I gave you your first apartment, your second apartment, your third apartment, your house, your cars. I've given you all of this. When your credit did not say you could have that. Your background did not say you could have that. Your family did not say you could have that. I've given you a business. You're a convicted felon. I've given you businesses that produce 6 figures. I've given you these things. And you still don't trust me? You still don't rely on me? I've given you the miracles that you've asked me for, but I need you to not be weary. I need you to stay connected to me, because I'm going to tell you something. I've got much more than 6 figures. I've got much more than a 2018 vehicle. I've got much more for you than a job making $400 a week. I've got much more for you than just that small ministry that you have. I've got much more for you than just that child that's in trouble. I've got much more for you if you just trust me and believe in me and say, Lord, I can't do this on my own. I need you in my life. I need you right now in this season. So today, I want to tell you, God says just stay connected to him. Trust him. Stop going around acting as if you are not your genuine self. The world does not need a watered down version of you. The world does not need you to act as if you're someone else. The world needs your true, authentic self. God is using you for a purpose, and he needs you to walk in that purpose. And in order to walk in that purpose and walk in the blessing that come behind it, you've got to get connected to him. You've got to stay connected. I pray over my home every morning and I say, Lord, search me, protect my home, fill this home with the Holy Spirit. My husband, he could sleep, probably 2 hours longer, or maybe even longer than that, after I get up at 4. But he gets up, and I'm in my office/media room, and I'm praying and I'm meditating and I'm doing all that, and he is in the bedroom or he is in his prayer closet and he's doing the same thing, because we stay in agreement. It says, where 2 or more are gathered, I am in the midst. Get in agreement with God. Stop getting in agreement with the world, because the world cannot sustain you. Get in that agreement with God and know that he's working some big, big miracles in your life right now. But you've got to trust him in this season of where he's got you covered, or the season where he's pruning you, or the season where he's watering you, which is the season of growth, right? He's got you covered. He's got you. He's just saying, stay connected to me. You got to stay connected to me. You got to believe. You got to have faith. And you got to know that I can do all things. And that I do all things. So stop thinking that those things that have gone away from you were put here to harm you. They were actually put here to grow you. And in that season, God is going to sustain you as long as you stay connected to him. He is your protection, your provision. Stay connected to the vine. Stay connected to the sustainable source, because there is purpose within you that nobody can take out of you. God has qualified you for such a time as this. Stand up. Be who God has created you to be. Stay connected to him, and he will bring the blessings of abundance and victory that you have been so asking for. So today, thank you for hanging out with me. Hope I added some value. If I did, go ahead and share this to your social media. If you're on the podcast, just screenshot it, put it in your story, or share it to your social media. And I do hope that you have an absolutely amazing and blessed day. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.